My name's Samantha, and we need to talk about Grace Semler Baldridge and their new album, Preacher's Kid. Also, I need to mention Lil Nas X. I am so proud of him and happy that he's doing everything that he's doing. If I look down, it's because I'm looking at some notes. Also, the thing I wanted to say about that is, like, he basically took himself to hell, and Christians still have a problem with that. That's what they said that would happen to him anyway. So, like, when he does that in a music video, why do you still have a problem with it? That just shows, like, how much of the point that Christians are missing when I say Christians, conservative Christians, whatever, when they are attacking the LGBTQ community. That's a big issue. But what we're here to talk about today is Semler, and I'm going to try really hard not to say Selmer because, I don't know, my mouth just wants to say Selmer, but it's Semler. And I also want to say, according to the wiki page, it says that Grace's pronouns are basically all pronouns. Her TikTok or their TikTok or whatever is all pronouns. So just wanted to say that really quick. So the thing I love so much about this album is how raw it is and how much it just like makes it says the things that I've always thought of since an experience I had that really got me to not go to church anymore. And something else that makes me really happy is that on February 9th, this album was charting #1 on the Christian album charts, which is amazing for a genderqueer person to have their album do that. And it just shows like how much things are changing. I know that things are not like how they should be all the way, but like that just shows huge progress just from like just a few years ago. The album Preacher's Kid was not the first time that I'd ever heard of Grace. I'm just gonna read what I said because I'm really having trouble with this, but I really think it's important to say what I have to say, so I'm just gonna read it. The first time I saw Grace was through the Refinery 29 series, State of Grace, where Grace goes around and has conversations with people about the LGBTQIA community and Christianity. I'm still working my way through that series, but it's so good, and I'll link it below. I was so impressed and so touched because I've never seen in video form someone really take a detailed look at that relationship. Personally, I grew up in the Christian church. It was one of the only steady things in my life. So Christianity is a big part of me and always will be. I might not identify as a Christian anymore, but I still am gonna have that foundation affect me for the rest of my life. So it is a big part of me and always will be, regardless of what my beliefs will continue to shape into. What really changed my relationship with Christianity was an experience I had in 2012 in a church in my hometown of North Carolina. I definitely need to read because I don't want to get emotional. There was an amendment that was going to be on the ballot called Amendment 1, or the North Carolina Same-Sex Marriage Amendment. It was approved, but later federally overturned, thank God. But it was an amendment that was supposed to prohibit the state from recognizing or performing same-sex marriages or civil unions. I went to church one Sunday morning and the preacher got on the topic of Amendment 1, and he told the whole congregation to vote for it. And it was a very big congregation, and it was very popular with people my age, people that were at my college at the time went there. A lot of them, and a lot of people that I went to high school with went to this church, and it was like it wasn't like a mega church, but it was more like North Carolina tiny hometown big church, like their version of a big church. I don't know if that makes sense. It was a huge congregation that he was speaking to, and he was speaking to young people like at my age at the time, younger than me, and of course there were like middle-aged people and older people. It was just a whole lot of people that this preacher was sending this message to. So he told the entire congregation to vote for it, and then he proceeded to hide his homophobia behind the guise of religion and his obligation as a preacher to influence us. I never went back to church after that, at least not for my own reasons. I definitely go to, like, if one of my friends gets married or something like that, I'll go to church, but you won't find me in the church as long as things are like they are. That experience really opened my eyes to what I deep down did not want to admit. The Christian church really is not a safe or a welcoming place, or a place where they even believe what they preach when they say God makes no mistakes. I won't go further into that right now, but I wanted to share so I can really express how shaken I was when I heard Bethlehem just pop up on my iTunes new music thing, and I was not ready. Not ready at all. In this album, Semler grapples with their own experiences with alienation, shame, sexuality, in relation to their experiences with Christianity and the Christian church. At times, it's also a love letter and a reminder of solidarity. To other LGBTQIA members who have also felt harmed and excluded by the Christian church. When I first heard Bethlehem, it randomly played on my iTunes new music mix while I was sitting out on my porch feeling sick and depressed. I didn't even fully listen to the lyrics at first because I was so affected by the sound of their voice and the music. I sobbed, I listened to it on repeat, and gradually I paid attention to the lyrics, which are not hard to understand at all, but I was feeling so physically and emotionally bad. I was out of my mind and pain and drained, and that's why it took me a minute to fully appreciate the lyrics and the entire orchestration of the song. Also, I just really needed to cry, and it was making me cry, so I was like, we're gonna go with this and we're gonna cry. When I finally did fully absorb the lyrics, I sobbed even more for even more reasons. And then I listened to Jesus from Texas, and I was wrecked again. Those are my two favorite off the album, but I love the whole thing. I never heard a singer, let alone a queer identifying Christian album, tackle these topics. Christianity used to mean so much to me, and that experience opened my eyes to so much fucked up shit I had been taught and had witnessed. Not just harmful things to me, but to people in my churches who ever strayed, which is so easy to do with that tight line they want you to walk on. I saw beautiful souls be torn down and shaped into a sad, confined version of themselves way too many times. I saw so many hurtful things and heard and taken in so many harmful messages that were just hateful, racist, misogynistic, homophobic, transphobic, and Islamophobic, and self-serving to white male preachers with a God Savior complex. With this album, Semler takes all that and questions it. Grace Semler Baldridge is no longer under the beliefs that they lied to them about. Semler is secure in themselves and their faith and their relationship with God. They come from a place where they can know that they have the strength and power and how to say, that's not right. And that's something I know. And that's something I know that kids in the church need to hear. Semler's album charted #1 in the Christian album category. That made me cry too. It made me cry to think of all the people who needed to hear what Semler had to say on this album. It also made me cry because it's a Christian album that does talk about loving God and going to heaven, but also this is who I am, and conservative Christianity is fucked up, and we need to really change and stop pushing people out. And they made it to the top of the charts. That's crazy. That shows huge changes in the way our world is being shaped by those who have traditionally been ignored, spoken over, and gaslit. And I could not be happier. I think I need to just go ahead and play those two songs, Bethlehem and Jesus from Texas, to just show you what I mean. I'm gonna only play parts of it, not the full song, but please, please go listen to this whole album. It's so good.
First song I learned spoke of Bethlehem. So is that prophecy? Or is that brainwashing? 'Cause no one ever pitched the great gods, and I don't know why not. I think that Athena'd understand me. My chips have fallen. My Messiah came calling, but what if he'd not? Would my soul just try? What would I give for just an inch of your peace? 'Cause I wanna fall, but I got bruises on my knees. What would I give for just an inch of your peace? My dad's never cursed in his life. I asked if he smoked, he said twice. Well, by that standard, I'm a goddamn failure. I passed blunts the day I married my wife. But I'm a child of God, just in case you forgot. And you cast me out every single chance that you got, and that's your loss, not mine. I'll be better than fine. You just missed your shot to meet the unholy divine. I'm saying, fuck a savior, and if she can't take it, then she's small. I'm gonna ask a lot of questions because I'm giving this my all. You know the people preaching now, well, they've been putting us through shit. And if you don't sanction that, then why are you rewarding it? You know the mission trips are scams. They do more harm than good. We got fame-hungry pastors making bank in Hollywood. I'm more confused than I've been, and I don't think this will pass. And I'm saying your name when I think the plane will crash. What I'd give. I wanna fall, but I got bruises on my knees. My mom turned 18 in the 1960s, and she does remember Stonewall. To be fair, she can't own a beer kid. That the bricks launched at police would compel me to exist. And I think about that now down the ballot. The ones I love and I don't know yet. I voted for you. Oh, what a terrible life it is to watch this sky fall as a character witness. I spent the rest of the night freaking out. I had to get high just to put myself down. But I won't vote for you. And I cut my hair, 'cause I'm worth it. These days I believe in big
I want more of this. I want Semler to continue making this kind of music and continue this discussion, and I want us to continue having this discussion and sharing artists or whatever information we can about this, because exclusion is never the way. And I hope that if you've ever felt excluded like that, that this album can help you heal in some ways. And if you're in the middle of it right now, I'm sorry, and I really hope it changes, and I think it will change. God. But anyways, that's it for now. I'm not saying sorry. I just really needed to make this video and talk about this because, you know, I've made videos about playlists that I've been listening to, and I have been working on a March playlist, and I'm going to be filming that video soon. But Semler needed their own video because it just shook me. I was so shook and in love, and I still am in love with this album and everything about it, how raw it is, how it was recorded, the sounds of Grace's voice, everything about it is just, it just got me. And I know that people who love music search for that kind of thing, or at least I do. And because music can be so healing and so transformative to our society as well. So I'm really excited that this exists. I'm going to continue to support this album. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.